Audio test. Audio test. Hello. Good morning. Good morning to our attendees who are joining us here in the board's hearing room. And good morning to the attendees who are joining us on the Zoom platform. I'm going to go ahead and ask those attendees on the Zoom platform who have their hands raised if they would like to offer public comment or commentary on any of our agendized items this morning. I'll record your information for the record, and we will call upon you when your item is heard. I'll start with Georgina McPhee. Good morning. Georgina McPhee. I can see the microphone moving, but I'm not receiving audio input. Give me just a second, I apologize. I'm going to go to Mona M, and then I'll go back to Georgina. Mona M, let's see if I can hear you. Good morning. I don't see Mona M unmuting, so I'm going to go ahead and go to Lurker. Good morning, Lurker. You should be receiving a pop-up asking you to unmute. Good morning. Would you like to offer commentary on any of our items this morning? And so I don't see on the Zoom platform, I don't see your microphone moving. I'm not sure if you're speaking into a device.
I'm here for you too.
Please speak clearly and closely into your device. I'm getting some feedback and some interruption when you're attempting to tell me which item you want to speak on.
I'm here for you too.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Lurker. The audio input from your device is not sounding normal. There's feedback. I'm going to encourage you to leave the meeting and rejoin the meeting if you have a different device, or if you want to try the same device, or if you want to try and call in. There is a call-in number listed on the agenda, but I can't hear. I can hear that you are trying to provide audio input, and you are providing audio input, but it's coming through. I can't. No one in the board hearing room can understand what you're saying. Go ahead and put you back on mute. Let me go back to Georgina McPhee. So I have confirmed that users who are joining us on the Zoom platform can in fact provide audio input. Would you please attempt to provide audio input once again, Georgina? Okay, for Georgina, I'm not even seeing a microphone symbol. So I'm going to ask the same of you, Georgina, if you would kindly exit the meeting, the Zoom meeting, and rejoin. Perhaps that will resolve. I'm just going through the normal troubleshooting that I do when users joining via the Zoom platform we can't hear them in the hearing room. I'm going to ask for Mona M once again to unmute. Last time I asked, Mona M did not unmute. Perhaps she stepped away and is awaiting the 10 a.m. start for the board meeting. And once again, Mona M is not unmuting. Jill. Good morning, Jill. I'm going to go back to, good morning, Jill.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can barely hear you. Give me 1 second,
General
Jill.
public comment. Hello?
Good morning. Good morning, Jill. Would you like to offer commentary on any of our items this morning? Good morning, Jill. I heard you say hello. I think, Yes, I could hear you say hello. Would you like to offer
You
commentary?
keep on unmuting the Zoom callers just for
So I
their
can't hear you. I'm going to
information,
again ask
okay?
that anyone who is joining, I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute. Once again, I'm going to ask that all attendees on the Zoom platform please speak clearly and slowly into your device so I can hear what you're saying. Thank you so much. Jill Jo, would you like to offer commentary on any of our items this morning or public comment? Just Okay, I see that you're not unmuting. A bunch of folks joining us on the Zoom platform are not unmuting today, so I'm going to go ahead and lower all hands. Anyone who wishes to offer commentary who has not already done so, and that is no one, please raise your hand. I will call upon you and ask if you would like to identify yourself and offer commentary on any of our items this morning. Good morning once again. I'm going to ask if there are any members of the public who are joining us here in the board hearing room who wish to offer public comment. Please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room, hand it to me, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and I'll call upon you when we get to your item. Good morning as well to the attendees on our Zoom platform. If anyone wishes to offer comment on the Zoom platform, please raise your hand. I will ask you to identify yourself for the record and which item you'd like to speak on. I'll record your information, and I'll call upon you when we get to your item. And seeing no hands raised, I will make one more call out in approximately 7 or 8 minutes. And time is 9:52. We should get started at approximately 10 a.m. Thank you.
You see this guy? He won't let me put my car. This is what they do and what they're corrupt. You dehumanize me as a lesser person than you.
I do see a number of hands raised on the Zoom platform. I'm going to go ahead and ask Mona M. to unmute. Mona M.,
I'm here
good morning.
raising many, many legal claims to millions
So I
of
don't
dollars.
see.
Hello, TJ. Public
Yes,
comment,
good morning.
please.
Yes, you've unmuted. We can hear you. Mona M., what would you like to offer public commentary this morning?
And this bug won't let me because he says it's a policy. And then the woman who's making the policy has a cup of coffee in her hand.
Mona M., I did not hear your audio input.
TJ, public comment,
This
please.
is 1936, and I'm a judge.
So I'm just going to have to wait. I have a public commenter speaking right in my ear.
Should I do it?
I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone, and I will once again do a roll call after there's the ability for me to hear what people are saying. I apologize, we may get started a little bit late. Thank you.
As he drinks his cup of coffee. So why can't I drink my cup of coffee and drink my cup of coffee? And everybody that sits here silent around this garden. You're the reason why my street lights that have predominantly brown skin and beard have been out for 3.5 years. Why I have drug users camping across the street from the street. Because of it's me. But they're more interested in a cup of coffee not going across that line. So, I can't bring my cup of coffee in. Oh, you're going to bring the pigs in now. Now it's a police matter. It's a police matter, right? A cup of coffee is a police matter. What about
I'm going to go ahead and go through the attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. Hopefully I can hear you now. I'm going to start with Georgina McPhee. Good morning, Georgina. Would you kindly unmute and identify yourself and let me know which item you'd like to speak on? And I'm not seeing your microphone move, which means please speak clearly and loudly into your device, Georgina. So there's an issue, Georgina, with your device. I'm not receiving any audio input. I did at one point see your microphone move, so perhaps you can exit the meeting link and rejoin, but the room is unable to hear your audio input. Hope that makes sense. Mona M., good morning. Mona M., would you like to offer?
TJ, I keep getting unmuted, but we can't hear anything you're saying.
You can't hear me.
Now I
Would you like to offer public comment this morning?
Good morning, TJ. Yes, this is the first time we could hear you. This is Mona M., and yes, I would like to offer public comment.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand.
You can't hear me.
Jill,
I couldn't hear you either, TJ. And I'd like general public comment.
thank you. Well, hopefully you can hear me say thank you. Lurker, would you like to offer commentary this morning?
Yes, sir, please and thank you. I couldn't hear you either, but I can hear everybody now.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Audit LA, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Knight and Commissioners. I would like to do public comment and every item. There's a few I'm leaning towards 4 or 5 in the last one, but leave it as everything.
I
Thank you.
apologize, Audit LA, there's still a lot of noise here in the hearing room. If you could please let me know. I did hear you say public comment, but I didn't hear you tell me which other items you would like to offer commentary on. If you could.
Oh, I guess we could leave it at, I want to focus, I think, on 4 or 5 and then the last one, but I want to leave it open to anything beyond that if I have time.
So we go by number.
Just put all items, I guess.
Okay,
Keep it
thank you.
simple. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Gigi. Hopefully you can hear me. Would you like to offer commentary this morning?
I think I'm going to do general public, and that's it.
Thank you. ASL interpreter Brian, I see your hand raised. Would you like to offer commentary this morning?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly now. Yes, for general comment, please.
Thank you. Have you down for public comment? I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. And I see Phil Thapoulis. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yes, please put me down for general and all items. Thank you.
Hi, I'm kind of busy right now. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Yes, how can I help you? I'm going to go back to Georgina McPhee. This is the 4th time I've attempted to establish audio input from you from your device.
Yes, and it's the first time I've been able to hear you. As Mona said before, there was nothing audible
Okay.
before that.
I'm going to go ahead and put you back on
be
mute.
muted and unmuted.
I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. I'm going to ask you what may be considered a simple question. Would you like to offer commentary on any of our agendized items or public comment this morning? I'm going to ask you to unmute and respond to that question. Thank you.
I'm happy to respond to the question. I don't need to be talked to like I'm in preschool, however. I would like to do general comment and agenda item number 4. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to go, this TJ with the Board of Public Works. I'm going to go ahead and go through our Zoom commenters. We have Georgina McPhee, we have Mona M, Lurker, Jill, Adedale, Gigi, ASL interpreter Brian, and Phil Thapoulis on the virtual platform. Here in the room, I have MD Media and Goat Puppet. If there are any additional members of the public who wish to offer commentary, if you're in the room, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and hand it to me. If there are any additional commenters on the Zoom platform, please raise your hand at this time. I'll ask you to unmute and call upon you when we reach your item. And it's 10:02, we should get started in the next 2 minutes. Thank you.
Why would you drink that in front of me? They threatened to arrest me if I brought my company. Why would you do that? Why can't you tell them just to back off of it, man? Just back off of it. So you don't harass people. Why do you do that? See, you know what's going to happen? That Mayor Bass is going to wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and she's just going to put your resignation letters against the place.
Mr. Knight, are we ready?
It's going to happen. And you're going to lose your jobs. It's going to happen.
So we have in the room, we have 2 public comments. In Zoom, we have 8 public comments and 3 multiple item agenda comments. We are going to have a request for item 1 to be taken off of consent.
Okay.
Cups of coffee, Jesus Christ.
President Corson, we are now in record mode.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Knight. Welcome, everyone, to the Board of Public Works meeting for Wednesday, March 12th. Mr. Knight, if you'd like to take roll call and establish quorum for us, please.
Yes, good morning, President Corson. We have President Corson, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Kang, Commissioner Mitchell present. We are joined by City Attorney Representative Darrell Field. I'm TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works. President Corson, we have 8 public commenters on the Zoom platform, 3 multiple agenda item commenters on the Zoom platform, and we have 2 public commenters here in the hearing room. We have no neighborhood council commentary this morning.
Great. We'll start with general public comment. It is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items, and we'll be provided up to 1 minute per person for a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to matters which are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. The board may not take any action on matters discussed during the public comment period. We'll go with the in-person cards. Goat Puppet.
So here we have 8th Street, 2600 West 8th Street. It's a cavernous hole, and it's been there a long time. But that's in a brown-skinned community, not those fucking Jew communities that you guys provide good services to. So that's over in what you call Westlake. And that is a rather deep hole, you know? So what happened is that your city just let the thing fall down and nobody comes out and fixes it. Your city councilwoman, Hamburger Hernandez, doesn't give a fuck about it either because she's too busy eating hamburgers. So you see, if that were in Encino, shit, boom, 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 that would have been done, you know, the next day. So anyway, that is down the street from an electric light repair project that was done. And still, they left the trash so the homeless fentanyl users can cut through that fence and go in there and set another fire, which they did 3 weeks before.
And that's 1 minute. Thank you.
So anyway, fuck all of you.
Thank you. We'll go next to MD Media.
Morning, Council. Thank you for letting me speak. I'm here in general comments about the permanent vacation. Their permanent street vacation on LRH Way. Scientology's trying to get that street shut down permanently for ungod no reasons. We don't know why, but they're just trying to also keep us protesters from protesting there. When there's revenue that they could be bringing in, if they put parking meters there as well, that would help bring in revenue for the city. Also, I've noticed they're doing unpermitted work on LRH Way on the roof across the street at 1334 LRH Way. I haven't seen anyone out there with permits. There's people out there doing work without permits. Thank you. That's all.
Mr. Knight, if you'd like to move us over to the virtual platform.
Very well, President Carson. We'll start with Georgina McPhee. You have 60 seconds to offer your commentary. Good morning. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm also calling about the permanent street closures or the constant street closures that have been happening on L. Ron Hubbard Way. That street is a direct artery to 2 major hospitals. The fact that it's allowed to ever be closed is unfathomable to me. It's an emergency access route. It needs to be opened up for the people 24 hours, 7 days a week. It needs to have public parking and meters installed. It needs to be accessible for everyone. Thank you.
We'll move next to Mona M, followed by Lurker. Go ahead, Mona M.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Good morning, commissioners. Hello, board. It's me again, Mona. 2 things. One, I seen this morning that over on Catalina and Fountain, they are removing those thorny plants that are in violation of city code. I appreciate that. The planters are gone. I appreciate that. I'll be true to my word and not bother you so much anymore. Hopefully, this street vacation will not be endorsed or promoted, and the Board of Public Works will take that into consideration. So no endorsement or promotion for the street vacation on LRH Way. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
We'll move next to Lurker, followed by Jill.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. You have 60 seconds to offer your commentary.
I just gotta say, for decades, I've been seeing that organization fighting for that street. This is insane. I'm 82 years old. I've been watching it since it's only been on 3 channels. Please and thank you. You can't do nothing while you're there, but how about when you leave this room? Can you do something then? Please and thank you very much. Love you all.
Jill. We'll go ahead to Audit LA. We'll go back to Jill and try you
I'm
after.
here. I'm here again. I'm sorry. I'm here.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Go
But
ahead.
I'm going to continue. Something's wrong with my phone. Continuing along the line of the planters and the thorny rose bushes and the street vacation. You've only emboldened this child trafficking cult by not going ahead and removing those planters and thorny bushes. They've become emboldened. They're doing what they want. They're doing unpermitted work. They're creating a danger to workers by not doing the right thing. By you doing that, you've also emboldened them to file false criminal charges against Scott Hochstetter, and it's inappropriate. You've just given them a lot of chutzpah to do what they're doing. Bye.
And we'll move next to Audit LA, followed by Gigi.
Yes, good morning. I want to take the aspect of the permits, the street closure permits. They're getting a new round of permits, and I am asking and requesting and begging somebody to put limits on these things. I don't believe that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing as far as notifications. I haven't seen anything about that. But we need to have a cap on how many street closure permits we can have in a year. As of now, they can have one every single weekend, all year round. There has to be limits. So there needs to be a law or some kind of rule that maybe like no more than once a month, and even that's too much. But the community needs their street. It needs to be open. It's a major artery to hospitals, to the metros. And they have the name of the street. They have they adopted the street. That's enough. They don't need a street vacation, and they don't need a backdoor street vacation with endless permits. Something needs to be done. Again, it's true they
And
are
that's
trying
60
to.
seconds. And we'll move next to Gigi, followed by ASL interpreter. Go ahead, Gigi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So I kind of want to speak on something that the in-person speaker, MD, was speaking about with the unpermitted construction or whatever. There's something that he did not mention, but I saw the other day. They were receiving at the horseshoe entrance of the blue building on Catalina. They were receiving building materials, which I don't know enough about what they're called, but little flat pieces of wood, and when you dig trenches or holes, you use them to keep it stable. They received tons of them, and the people dropping them off said that they're for trenches, they're for holes, stuff like that. I'm wondering if Scientology has a permit to be doing any work that's involving trenches or holes, and if they have the permits for the building materials. And I can't find anything myself about this, so that should be looked into given their record of unpermitted work. Thank you.
We'll move next to ASL interpreter Brian.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I'm addressing the street vacation on Lafayette R. Hubbard Way. This morning, Jamie Mustard, who grew up here in LA, gave his account of growing up in Scientology and the Sea Org and what the children organizations they had from an infant to 12 or 13 when he was put to physical work. The amount of physical, mental, emotional, and sexual abuse is rampant. The ecclesiastical staff believe that children are adults in small bodies so they can do whatever they want to them. This religion clergy did not follow the requirements for mandated reporters to report to agencies about this. Same thing happened in Denmark, in Copenhagen, all over where Scientology is located. These things are happening. When First Amendment auditors are documenting these abuses and crimes from the street, which is open at this point, but soon to be given away if you do this, the church gets involved, trying to get your approval to shut them street down so they can do these activities and all kinds of other illegal things right under your nose with your blessing. Thank you.
We'll move next to Phil Thapoulis.
I just want to talk directly on the illegal street vacation that the cult criminal racket known as Scientology is trying to do on L. Ron Hubbard Way via Bill Delvac and his little minion, Dan Reardon. Yeah, listen, man, all right, this board needs money and so does the city. You can easily put up at least 24 parking meters there. And the fact of the matter is, this criminal racket doesn't even pay for these event permits. They just do it unlawfully. So how about you generate some money? We all like money. I know you like money. I love money. The audience likes money. So how about you generate some money for the city? You guys are going broke, all right? This cult doesn't pay you money, so force them to by putting up some parking meters on L. Ron Hubbard Way and stop this street vacation nonsense. Get some damn money in your pockets. I like money, you like money, that's really the bottom line. Put some parking meters on there. It's a public street. Let's get some money for the city. Let's stop this nonsense and let's make some money. It's just that simple. Give them,
And
make
60 seconds, President Corsand. That concludes public commentary. However, I do see an additional hand raised on the Zoom platform. If you'd like, I can ask the attendee if they would like to offer public comment.
Did we already meet the 10-minute threshold?
Yes.
Okay. We can ask if they'd like to speak on a single item or multiple agenda item, but for now, we will be closing the general public comment portion for today's meeting.
Very well. Children's voices matter. Would you like to offer commentary on any of our agendized items? Please note that the presiding officer has closed public comment this morning.
No, just general comment.
Okay,
Children's
that has
voices
been
matter.
closed. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. Thank you. That concludes public comment this morning.
Thank you. We'll move on to multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment for up to 1 minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item. For Go Puppet and MD Media, you just put down general public comment. Is it for multiple agenda item as well? No. Okay. Thank you. Go Puppet.
All right. So now this is the bullshit portion. You have to tie your Rob general public comment into an item. People are just sick in the mind, man. But you're talking about today, I think the Sepulveda Basin. There's no fucking streetlights in the Sepulveda Basin at all. Victory Boulevard to Woodley to Burbank to Balboa. 78% of the streetlights have been out for the past 2.5 years. And I see millions of dollars on that agenda. You have a project. How can you have a project when you don't even have any streetlights? The parking lots to the park are left wide open so fentanyl users, human traffickers, drug addicts, and thieves can go in and set little fires and burn the shit out of the entire basin. The park ranger doesn't even come in and lock the gates at night. And you have a project? And then I see this crawl back. What? You're going to crawl back $1.4 million. How are you going to crawl that back? You're going to spend it, and then you're going to get it back? So in other words, you're going to ask the federal government for a refund? Or are you going to apply the money as a loan? So is the Board of Public Works going to borrow $1.4 million from the general fund with an IOU? subject to return of federal funds? Of course not. That money's never going to be fucking seen. Are you kidding? Trump is going to give you 1.4. He isn't going to give you anything. Why are the fucking streetlights out? Why? I call Imelda Padilla's office at 213-473-7006 every week, wondering when they're going to turn our streetlights on. I did a complaint recently at 311 on the intersection of Burbank and Woodley. Got a case number. Hasn't done shit. But I do know this. The crews came out in CD1 yesterday, and I spent a lot of time talking to them about this and watching how they do it. There's little fuses in the ground and the wires, and the little fuses and the lights go out. Now they can change a fuse, and then they can turn the lights back on. Then they sometimes have to go on the pole, and it's a sensor, a day and night active sensor. So why are 78% of the lights out in this major thoroughfare where they've had cars chases, they've had burglary suspects drive down Woodley, and the cops can't find them because there's no lights? And you guys are going to pour $2.4 million in. So what is it you guys really are doing? Are you guys going to redevelop the area? We're leasing it from the Federal Department of Engineering, the engineers. So you tell me, turn the streetlights back on and stop robbing us.
That's 3 minutes.
Mr. Knight, we can move on to the virtual hands raised.
Very well, President Carson. We'll start with Georgina McPhee.
Hi. Yes, I'd like to address the sidewalk damage that was done by the heavy planters that were put up on Fountain. There's been terrible damage due to the excessive water usage and those heavy barricades that were put up. And I think if you put in metered parking on L. Ron Hubbard Way, you'd be able to pay for those sidewalk repairs.
Speaker,
pay for the
can you
cost of the
identify
meter.
to which item you're speaking? This is multiple
Sidewalk
agenda
repair
item
number
commentary.
4. Sidewalk repair, agenda item number 4. The planters have done serious damage. They were in ADA violation for several months. I think they should be fined daily for each one of those planters, which would net thousands of dollars a day, and would make the repairs on Fountain, as well as any repairs necessary to retrofit L. Ron Hubbard Way with parking meters. Parking meters and parking is necessary on that street for access to the hospital, for patients of the hospital, hospital staff. It's expensive to park at a hospital all day long. If there was meters available to people and a street available to people, that street should never be closed off. It's a direct route to both of those hospitals. Children's Hospital and Kaiser Hospital are directly in line with that street. And the fact that that street ever gets closed off is baffling to me. Ambulances need to be able to go down that
Caller,
street.
which item are you speaking on?
All the items.
Right,
All the items. I yield back my time.
Thank you.
We'll move next to Audit LA. Please indicate which item you're speaking on. Go ahead.
All right, all items. The first, I will agree with Goat Puppet about the Sepulveda Basin, and it's beyond that. It's the entire East Valley, including the nicer areas, you know, like parts of like, not the Toluca Lake Village, but other parts. Toluca Lake Village is nice, but you can't get it. It's so dark. I have been on video where it's so dark I can't even see in front of me, and I'm in a chair, and it's so scary and dangerous. There's no lighting in the valley. That being said, I want to go to the sidewalk. I agree also that as you do sidewalk repairs, that I submitted, I hope everyone's had a chance to review it by now. I have submitted the CASP report individually to every commissioner. Please review it. It's all important, and we'll be referring to it often. But they talk about the sidewalk portion on Fountain Avenue. I cannot go down it. I am restricted. So it's not Scientology per se now, you know, with their endless permits closing the street where I can't get, you know, where they want to keep me off. It is a broken sidewalk. So I don't know who do I need to sue over it? Like do I is it Scientology that's responsible to fix it, or is it the city responsible to fix it? It gets very confusing because I can't go down it, and I'm tired of having areas where I cannot go down, whether it's because I'm in the dark or because it's so broken, it's too dangerous to even attempt. Now, mind you, this is a $1 billion place that has enough money to do everything they want on the street that they love. But the one that, the other side, they could care less about because it's not the traffic inside to their building. And it's so treacherous, which is maybe what they want. They got like a moat. It creates like a moat. It needs to be fixed. The next one is okay, about the one with the increased money. Here we go. Is constant. You want at first it's going to be 1.4 million. Now it's like 4 point some odd million. Like, how does that happen? Is this because people continually come in and bid, and there's like bidders now that you're talking about that they lie and they lowball and say, okay, we want to get this, and we're like, okay, we'll give it to you because it's so low, it's so nice, and then they come in because they know they will always get the increase. Like, I never hear any. I think one time I heard Commissioner Grant scrutinizing, which I appreciate immensely every time he scrutinizes things. Thank you, sir. But endlessly it gets voted on. It gets, everything. So anyone can lowball. I could come in and say, I want to fix the Sepulveda Basin for $10. Oh, I'm the lowest bidder. I get the thing. Then I come back, oh, I need $10 million. And okay, is that what it takes? Of course I'm exaggerating, but this is the process that we've been seeing for so long. It needs to stop. I am here not just to talk about the stuff that Scientology is doing to the city,
And that's
but
3
also to hold the
minutes.
city. You have to be accountable.
Thank you. Phil Thapoulis. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I just want to echo some of the comments made by Audit and Goat. So, talking about the Sepulveda Basin project, I see there's a major sum total there, and I know the city is in desperate need of money. And what better way to generate a huge portion of that money? And I did some calculations thanks to the report that Audit submitted based on the countless violations of one of these criminal rackets that could easily go to actually funding this project. By my calculations, at least 1.5 million that you could generate from this revenue, not only in violations by Scientology, but also an additional million just on parking meters alone on L. Ron Hubbard Way. And not only that, I too fear for my life when I walk down a dark street. I mean, L. Ron Hubbard Way is a dimly unlit street, and I fear for my life because I know a Scientologist is going to go and assault me, just like they did Aja back a couple months ago, where a guy literally punched a protester in the face who was a Scientologist. And that's what they do. They just punch people in the face because they feel like they can get away with it on a dark street. And that's how you can get money for that Sepulveda Basin project. You can take money from organizations that aren't paying you and put it towards, at least now I've given you 2.5 million that can go towards that project so people don't get punched in the face by Scientologists on dimly lit streets. I think we can all agree on that. Nobody wants to get punched in the face on a dimly lit street by a Scientologist. That's something we can all agree upon. And similarly, when they talk about disrepair sidewalks and disrepairs, I mean, I've literally seen people trip and the disabled people get stuck on broken sidewalks. And money I see there also is required into the tune of 1.6 million. What better way to generate that money than start issuing criminal charges as well as fines to the racket that's known as Scientology? Easily 2.5 million. Right there, it's not even been a full year. You could easily fund the entirety of that project and not let people get punched in the face on L. Ron Hubbard Way by a Scientologist and not get people stuck who are in wheelchairs because of the destruction that Scientology has done to the public right away. You can do all these projects by taking money from Scientology that you're entitled to and fixing these sidewalks and putting up streetlights so that people aren't getting punched in the face by Scientologists and the cops having to show up in mass, because that's what Scientologists do every day in and out. They punch people in the face, they destroy sidewalks, they make fun of the disabled, and they issue bogus criminal cases against people. And you could easily get that money for these projects if you just put up parking meters on L. Ron Hubbard Way, start issuing those criminal charges in violation of LAMC 5611 and 5612. You know it. And I've done the math. Easily 1.5 million dating back
And
to
that's 3
June 2020.
minutes. President Carson, that does conclude the multiple agenda item commenters who have identified themselves previously. However, there are 2 additional hands raised on the Zoom platform. If you'd like, I can ask if they would like to offer commentary on a single item or a multiple item.
Yes, please.
Very well. I'll start with Lurker. Would you like to offer would you like to offer single item or multiple item agenda commentary this morning?
Multiple.
Very well.
Publicly.
Go ahead. Please indicate which item you are speaking on. Go ahead.
All of them. All at once. This is ridiculous. All the years that this same street has been spoken about in the media, which was limited back in my day when I first started paying attention to this stuff. Get a grip
Caller, which
on
item are you
your
speaking on?
city. All of them. Take it or leave it.
Right,
Do
but
what you do and be who you are.
please identify
You're
3
gonna
items.
Be who you are.
Okay, but you have to stay on topic.
The topic is do your job. Do your job. Simple topic. All of y'all, get it together or get off the bench.
Speaker,
What
please
the
tie your
heck?
comments to items on the agenda or you'll forfeit your time.
I'll forfeit my time. I hope you heard what I said. Talk to you later. Bye.
Carla, I do see your hand raised on the virtual platform. Would you like to offer single item commentary or multiple agenda item commentary this morning?
Multiple, please.
Go ahead. Please indicate which item you are speaking on. Go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Yes, I'm speaking on the first items, all the items that refer to funding, because I'm seeing millions of dollars being mentioned that are going to be used for funding. So I am calling to say, I've been hearing all the comments before me. I like to second the comments made for multiple items here by Audit LA, by the former and all the other former commenters. They are telling you, they're putting money on the table for you. They're telling you, here you have a case in which you can collect $1 million extra dollars. And if I were you, I would personally call these people and say, let's have a meeting, how we're going to get this money. Because that's the way, like, how you're not going to look good by collecting these fees and being able to refund the city with this initiative. When do you ever get public comment where people are bringing money and putting it on the table? Imagine you get in a suitcase and the money is in front of you and say, oh no, thank you. I prefer to collect it with taxes. How are you looking towards the people who voted for this government? This is insane. So I would encourage you, and I'm sorry if I'm being rude. I don't want to be rude. I'm being passionate about this. I really appreciate the work that you do, but please pay attention to the report that Audit Lay presented. Please pay attention to a former caller who talked about the money that you can collect with these fees. Please pay attention to the fact that there are other expenses that are being taken because of those planters that you allowed for 8 months. A person has been criminally charged. He's been mentioned before. He has been criminally charged for touching those planters or for touching something that had to do with the permits that also were not in compliance. So the city and the state is also spending money on criminal charges that are bogus connected to this. And a person is at the risk of going to jail for touching a planter that shouldn't be there. What if that person was the person with a wheelchair? He had to touch the planter and the planter broke. What, they're going to charge them for vandalism, for a planter that was illegal? This is insane. And please check the case. It's Scott Hochstetter. It's a case where there's a criminal charge. Are you going to charge every person that bumps into the planter? So there's more money wasted there, and it has to do with the street repair also. There's so much you can collect there. The fact that you're not grabbing it is driving me insane. I wish I was being told on my job, you know what, you could save all this. Do it now. So that's why I want to second all the comments before me. And I hope you understand that if we talk like this, we want to help. We want to collaborate. We're bringing many solutions to your problems. We're making your work
And that's
easier.
3 minutes. Thank you.
So here we.
All right.
President
Thank you, Mr. Knight. With that, we'll close the multiple agenda item public comment portion for today's meeting and move on to approval of the minutes for Monday, March 3rd. If there is a second to my motion. Thank you, Mr. Knight. There's a first from myself and a second from Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll take a roll call vote on approval of minutes, starting with you, President Corsand.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. And this item is approved unanimous.
Great. Moving on to consent items. Item number 1 is being withdrawn from consent, and we will take that up separately. Without objection, I'll move to approve consent items 2, 3, and 4. If there is a second.
Second.
I apologize, President Carson. I believe per guidance of City Attorney, we have to first vote to move items to consent. I know you said without objection, but is that okay to move items 2, 3, and 4 to consent without objection? Take that as a vote?
Yes, you can do it that way.
Thank you. So I apologize. The motion is from President Corson, and is there a second on approval of items 2, 3, and 4 on consent?
It was Vice President Chavez with the second.
Thank you. So we'll take a roll call vote on those items, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. And these items are approved and adopted, and will move forward forthwith.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Knight. We'll move on to item number 1 from Bureau of Engineering, Sepulveda Basin Vision Plan Project. We have a verbal amendment.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners, Mr. Knight, City Attorney, and most welcome guests. My name is Marcelino Asensio. I'm a Senior Civil Engineer with the Bureau of Engineering, and I'm joined by my colleague, Mr. Sun Yu Zhang, the Project Manager for the Sepulveda Basin Vision Plan. Just as a reminder, the Vision Plan is a master planning document for the Sepulveda Basin that identifies projects over the next 25 to 30 years. This item was to be taken on consent. However, we're here to provide a verbal correction. There was a footnote that was omitted on the funding table. And with that, I'll hand it over to Mr. Sun Yu Zhang.
Good morning. Yes, my name is Shun Yu Zhang. I'm a civil engineer from BOE Architectural Divisions, also the project manager for the
Sorry, can you speak into the microphone? Thank you.
Right. So the motion before you is for the task order solicitation number 054 for the Sepulveda Basin Vision Plan project. That was awarded to the Geosyntec consultant, which is a pro-qualified on-call consultant from BOE list to provide the comprehensive master planning and the design. On November 18th, 2022, and this task is what the Sepulveda Basin Vision Plan was born out of, which received the great support from the community and the extensive outreach with the federal, state, and the local stakeholders and the partners and the many interesting groups. So on January 27, 2025, this board adopted the board report BPW 2025-0059, which authorized an increase to the task ceiling to provide the additional technical support. Mainly is for the LA River dechannelizations and the rehabilitations. So this technical study will be actually be the foundation of the environmental studies that is required from the federal and the state. That means we actually have to comply with the CEQA and the NEPA requirement. So the board report listed the added funding source at the TBD, that's to be determined, as shown in the funding table item number 3. Since the time of the board report approval, an approaching unit for 008868 under the fund number 100 and department number 54 has been identified. Consequently, we recommend the board to approve this revised funding table as listed in the report. I also would like to apologize, but we would like to make two verbal corrections. So the number one is the council district. Actually, the project is located within the council district 6 and 4. So we would like to correct that to CD 4 and 6. So the number two, I would also like to add the footnote and the asterisk back to the updated funding table. The footnote should read, the general fund will be reversed back upon state grant reimbursement. So this is an important detail that was erroneously cut off from the table. So an updated report has been submitted to the board prior to the meeting this morning. And this concludes my report. And I'm open to any questions from the board you may have.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this item?
Yes, I do.
Commissioner Mitchell?
So as I understand it, item number 3 was to be determined with regard to the general fund, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's
So
it.
when we approved this on January 27th, 2025, a fund account had to be determined in the future, correct?
That's correct.
The item before us today is only as to item number 3 and fund number 100, department number 54, appropriation unit 868 is that fund that has been identified with the to be determined, correct?
That's correct.
Yes? No?
Yes, that's correct.
And that asterisk as to the general fund is still going to be reversed back. That general fund item will still be reversed back once you receive the state grant reimbursement, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so item number 3, what we're doing is substituting the identified funding source, correct?
Correct. That
All
is
right.
correct. Yes.
No more questions.
Thank you. Commissioners, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, is there a motion on the table on this item?
Second.
That is as amended with the verbal amendment. Correct? Yes, thank you. Mr. Knight, we have a first from President Pro Tem Grant and a second from Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll take a roll call vote on approval of item 1 as amended. Starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is approved as amended and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item number 5 from the Bureau of Engineering and Council District 11, task order solicitation number 29 for Harrison Associates. And we have Monsieur Shedung.
Good morning, commissioners, board representatives. Shay Dong, Principal Civil Engineer with BOE's Airport Infrastructure Review Division. I'm here to give oral report on item number 5 on today's agenda. And this report recommends that the board authorize the city engineer to revise task order 29 to Harrison Associates to increasing the budget authority from 1.8 million to $4,225,850 for plan checking and permit issuance support services on airport projects. Before getting into the details of task order 29, I'd like to just briefly explain who we are and our role in all these airport development projects. The Airport Infrastructure Review Division is a relatively small team of seasoned engineers that help facilitate all the Los Angeles World Airport developments by providing design review, approval of construction plans and documents, and issuance of permits for all airport projects that impact the public right-of-way. Some notable projects include LAWA's multi-billion-dollar landside access modernization program and their airfield and terminal modernization programs. To help meet LAWA's aggressive design and construction schedules, we have augmented staff with specialty engineers from Harris who possess the structural expertise that is necessary to review highly complex design and construction conflicts. This segues into my discussion on Task Order 29. So Task Order 29 was issued to Harris and Associates on June 16, 2023, with an initial budget of $1.8 million to cover support services through the end of October 2024. Because at the time, we weren't sure whether the pre-qualified on-call civil engineering services list would get extended or not. And this task order was always intended to align with LAWA's project schedules. So now that the PQOC list got extended through October of 2029, we can now request for the proper not to exceed budget of $4,225,850, and this does include a 10% contingency. Through December of 2024, the total cost incurred on this task order was just under 1.3 million. And so we've been managing the budget well. However, with AT&P well underway and with large plan submittals pending, we could exhaust our current budget by April, possibly May. As for the business inclusion program, Harris has pledged to meet all the city anticipated participation levels under this revised task. And finally, for the funding status, this task revision has zero impact on the general fund. All funding is provided through a collection of B permit fees paid for by the permit applicants and IDOs issued by LAWA. This concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this item?
I have a question.
Yes, Commissioner Mitchell.
What's the funding source again?
The funding sources are provided through B permit deposit paid for by LAWA's developers and or various IDOs issued by LAWA, Los Angeles area.
So basically, LAWA's on the hook. Thank you.
All right. Commissioners, any other questions or comments on this item? Is there a motion on this item?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There's a first from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 5, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kane.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 5 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you. Item number 6 from the Bureau of Sanitation and Council District 14. Request for authority, the Central Los Angeles Recycling and Transfer Station.
Good morning, City Attorney, Commissioners, and Executive Officer. My name is Tania Flores. I'm one of the engineers for LA San Solid Resources Processing and Construction Division. We run a few facilities, one of them being CLARTS, which stands for the Central Los Angeles Recycling and Transfer Facility. The location of this facility is in between Washington and Alameda. This is the only solid waste transfer facility that the city owns and operates. There, it works as a centralized location to collect and transport municipal solid waste, mainly coming from the city's black bin, green bin. Also, we have trash coming in from private businesses as well as commercial waste. This is a very efficient facility. It saves the city money by centralizing waste that is in the nearby area instead of hauling it directly to landfills that are not located within the city. On April 23rd, 2004, the City Council adopted the Environmental Quality and Waste Management Personnel Committee's report, and this was to approve gate rates for transfer, hauling, and disposal of non-city solid waste, and it should be adjusted on an as-needed basis to maintain full cost recovery. So at CLARTS, we charge prevailing gate fees to private customers, which are cash paying customers, to process their waste and to dispose of it. We have been continuously adjusting these fees to recover all of our operating costs. Each year, we do an analysis and it calculates our operating cost per ton at Clarts for private and commercial customers. The analysis that we do accounts for city employee salaries, benefits, operating equipment, supplies, as well as the hauling, which is the transportation from Clarts to the disposal facility, a community amenities fee, a reserve for capital projects. Clarts is relatively old facility, so we continuously have to do projects on site. Private security costs, we have 24-hour security on site, and the disposal fees for the landfills. The cost analysis assesses the fees that we need to charge in order for us to recover all of these costs. In the past year, due to a CPI increase or a consumer price index, increase in hauling rates, along with an increase in disposal fees, and just the overall operating cost at Clarts due to an increase in our salary contracts, we have an increase of about 15%. And this is why we are recommending to increase our gate fee by $4 to enable Clarts to maintain our existing operations and achieve full cost recovery. The gate rate would go from $83 per ton to $87 per ton, and $93 per ton to $97 per ton for hard to handle waste. This typically means we need somebody to unload a specific type of material from the paying customer. Customers will be giving a 30-day notice before the applicability of these new prices. And this has no impact on the general fund. All of our recovered costs would be deposited back into the Clarts special fund. And that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion on this item?
I'll move.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, there is a first from Commissioner Kang and a joint second from Vice President Chavez and Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 6, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
All ayes, and this item is adopted and we'll move forward forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 7, also from the Bureau of Sanitation, Personal Services Contract 3-year Renewal Option Amendment number 5.
Good morning, President Corson, the Board Commissioner, the City Attorney, and Executive Officer. My name is Alan Tran with the LA Sanitation and Environment. We are here today for the item number 7, the RBM contract agreement. The responsible biosoil management contract is for loading, transporting, and land application of the biosolid at Green Acre Farm. The Green Acre Farm is a city-owned property in Kern County. About 67% of the total biosoil production, that's equivalent to 500 wet tons per day of the Class A biosolid, have been transported and land applied at Green Acre Farm by RBM. The biosolid is used as fertilizer for farming operation, and we plant the non-human consumption crops at the farm, and the crops are being sold to the local dairy. The current contract agreement was executed on November 15, 2022, with a term of 3 years plus 1 3-year renewal option. And the first 3-year term will expire on November 14, 2025, this year. And that's the reason why we're here today. We would like to request an approval from the board to exercise a 3-year renewal option obtained in the current contract. Exercise a 3-year renewal option in the current contract will allow the city to continue the land application of the biosolids at the farm. And it's also provide the city sufficient time to distribute the RFP and to negotiate a new contract for service. The RBM has showed that they are the most reliable contractor that has complied with all the city requests and complied with all the federal, state, local regulation requirements. RBM has remained as the lowest cost option for the city biosol program. And the scope of work and the contract ceiling cost will remain the same. This contract will be funded by special funded sewer operation and maintenance fund. Therefore, there will be no impact on the general funded. This concludes the staff report. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion on the table on this item?
So move.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There is a first from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from Commissioner King.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 7, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner King.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you.
So much.
All right. Moving on to item number 8 from the Bureau of Engineering, Bureau of Street Services, Council District 13, request for authority for a landscape maintenance agreement. And we have here Mr. Tanat Satidit.
Thank you. Tanat Satikit, Bureau of Engineering. The item before you is requesting the president or 2 members of the board to execute the landscape maintenance agreement with Caltrans. The site location is located at 715 North Alvarado Street, in which Alvarado Street is under Caltrans right-of-way. On this lot, there is a development project which is a 6-story residential apartment building, and it is a 100% affordable housing project. The property owner, Alvarado Kent Apartments, has requested permission from Caltrans through their encroachment permit to install 3 new trees while keeping 1 existing tree, new landscaping, and irrigation lines along the sidewalk on Alvarado Street. The Urban Forestry Division of Streets LA does not typically maintain trees within state highways. Therefore, Caltrans requires the city to execute a landscape maintenance agreement to maintain the trees and landscaping should the property owner fails to do so. The proposed trees and landscaping provides an aesthetic benefit to the area and is consistent with the city landscaping guidelines as it has already been reviewed and approved by Streets LA. By requiring the property owner to record a covenant and agreement to maintain the trees and landscaping, the risk that the city would be required to perform the maintenance can be minimized. And it requires any subsequent property owners to maintain the landscaping and allow the city to recover the costs should the property owner fail to meet the maintenance commitment. Council District 13 has been involved with the development project and is in support of the project. This concludes my presentation. I am open to any questions you may have.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion on this item? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There is a first from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 8, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner King.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 8 is adopted subject to conditions forthwith.
Thank you. And moving on to our last item for today in Council District 6, 8, 10, 12, and 13. Also from the Bureau of Engineering, we have a contract award sidewalk repair program, package number 71, library facilities project, and we have Mr. David DeWin.
Yes. Good morning. Can you guys hear me? Good morning, Board of Public Works and Commissioners. My name is David Nguyen, and I am one of the civil engineers from the Bureau of Engineering Sidewalk Division. The Bureau is requesting authority to award sidewalk repair package number 71 to Geronimo Concrete, Inc. Geronimo is the first and low bidder to be lowest responsible bidder for the contract amount of $1,607,703.50. Just a little bit background about the project. The project is being delivered by the Sidewalk Repair Program, SRP. The SRP Access Request Sub-Program remove barriers reported by the constituents with mobility disabilities and remediate any barriers by reconstructing the existing pedestrian facilities such as sidewalks and curb ramps to make them accessible to all residents throughout. The project will construct 6 city libraries throughout the city, which includes Council District 6, 8, 10, 12, and 13. The contract duration is 210 working days. The project will help the SRP to achieve its goal for the fiscal year for city facilities. On October 16, 2024, 5 bids were received and Geronimo was deemed the lowest responsible and responsive bidder. The funding for this project come from the budget fiscal year of 2022 sidewalk repair funds. This concludes my reports. I am open for any questions.
Thank you. And we also have Geronimo on the line. Did they want to have anything to add to this item? Please raise your hand. Otherwise, commissioners, any questions or comments on this item?
Just a quick update, President Corson, the contractor is not raising their hand at this time.
Thank you. Commissioners, if there's a motion on this item? Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you, Mr. Knight. There is a first from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on this item, on approval of this item, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Knight, have we cleared our desk for today?
Yes, President Corson, we have.
Thank you, everyone. For the public, our meeting on Friday, March 14th, drew a blank there on the date, will be in Van Nuys City Hall. With that, our meeting for today is adjourned at 11:01.